Welcome, Cancer, to your April 2022 reading and predictions. I'm Nigel Saint James, as you subscribers will know, and if you're stopping by for the first time, great to meet you. It's my great pleasure to see you. Now, this month, notice I do overhand shuffling because the decks that I use, I keep for a long time, and I find that riffle shuffling and all that other stuff just wrecks them, so I'd rather actually hang on to the deck and let the vibes of the various people who handle it, literally the thousands of people that I deal with that use my various decks in readings, they can use them without them being disheveled and frayed and damaged. And of course, I've done a number of readings for Cancer people over the last month, and if you'd like to have a one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me from anywhere in the world, just check out the information that's in the description box below. You know the drill. But now we're going to have this Hindu theme. Now I'm going to draw 5 cards for you because, as you know, 5 is all we need, because each card is usually jam-packed with information that's of great importance to you for the month ahead. Now there's the 6 of discs. See, I love the imagery that comes out of the Indian, the Queen of Staves, the Indian mythology. And I've been a student of Hinduism. There is the world. I've been a student of Hinduism for many, many years. I'm not a Hindu myself, but I certainly appreciate the deep spirituality which is contained. In fact, probably to be honest, my favorite scriptural work, I have 2 favorites, I suppose. Well, 3 really. I do like the Quran. I know the good bits, not the ridiculous bits. I do like the Gospel of John in the traditional Christian sense. I do like the book of Genesis in the Hebrew tradition. And I do like the Bhagavad Gita in the Indian tradition, or Krishna tradition in particular. Just exquisite. In fact, I'd tell anybody you can find the Bhagavad Gita free online. Just read chapter 7 and see the attributes that Krishna assigns to himself as the one supreme God. Just beautiful. Anyway, we've got 2 left, haven't we? Let's see what they might be. The Knight of Discs. You had a 6 of discs, and they're sitting underneath each other. That's interesting, and that's very fortuitous. And there's the King of Arrows. Well, as is usual, why don't you now come? Sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the cards together while I do the reading for you. Now, let's have a look at this central card here first. It also happens to be Major Arcana. Who might this be? If it's who I think it was when I just drew it then, let's have a look. Well, this is Mahashakti. She is the world, the universe, the force that pervades it. She is Mahashakti, the great power, and also the Vidya, the supreme eternal knowledge that becomes the cause of moksha, liberation of the soul from reincarnation. She is the world transcending illumination and world generating will. She has no name, for she is all names. She is the material universe, the pulse and breath of life, the incandescent heart of light and love in the center of the universe, which is the human soul. She is Ananda, the bliss that pervades the universe as awakened consciousness. Beautiful, beautiful painting of her there. Now, what I'm getting from it, because of the position that she's in, and with this card here in particular, which I'll get to in a little while, I think that there is a decision which you are going to be making that is going to have a major impact on your life. It may not seem that it is at the time, but this decision will. Now, this could be a lifestyle choice, or it could be a job, or it may be changing things around the place where you live. But this change is positive, and you're going to benefit and derive great happiness for it. There is here also the feeling, I think, that it is time to move on after, as she is the universe, after seeing the bigger picture. Maybe take some time out to see the big picture. It's a natural period of growth and shedding of things and people which are no longer serving you. Now, when that comes to people, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that you know how it is as you grow and develop. Some people stay in the same page or they drop off. It's not meant to be in a bad way. I think you will be highly discriminating and discerning during this period, and you may also go through a period of quite critical self-analysis, but not in a bad way. In a way which is saying, what are my strengths and weaknesses? How do I minimize my weaknesses? And how do I improve upon my strengths? There is closure here, resolution, and definitive action. Now, what is happening is that you are being challenged to drop your worm's eye view to see things from a higher plane. And when you have recognized the greater time spans, see, she's the universe, recognizing greater, taking a larger context, looking at other contexts, which I think that you will be increasingly ready to do, by the way, then you will then tend more and more to observe things in their beingness, to see free from evaluations. You might ask yourself, what methods can you use to gain deeper insight into your own life situation and derive wisdom from it? And say this to yourself. I observe people and situations objectively and fairly. I value the combination of my qualities and characteristics. I have unlimited creativity within me, and I honor it, and I use it to express creativity in family and social settings. And also say, God is the unknown, the mysterious. The more that I don't know, the closer I am to God. Well, who is this sitting underneath this tree up here? Let's have a look at it. Okay, this looks like you probably can guess who it is, but let's look at it. Now, this is Siddhartha, the Buddha, and having given up on self-torture and regained his strength, he came to what he came to sit with resolution under a tree. He determined that he would not move until he had found the solution to suffering. For 44 days he sat immobile. Now Mara, the evil one, the Indian Satan, I suppose you might say, was alarmed beyond measure. His sway over humanity was about to substantially weaken, and he began assaulting the aesthetic, hoping to deflect him from ultimate knowledge. He sent sins, fears, doubts, temptations, venomous spirits, storms, and lightning. Mara even tried to shame the Buddha, a warrior meditating instead of conquering. What a baby. Each assault left Siddhartha tranquil and Mara in fearful bewilderment. Mara then sent his 3 bewitching daughters, Desire, Unrest, and Pleasure, who always triumphed, but Siddhartha never swerved. Now, the astrology governing the energy of this particular depiction in this position is that of the moon ruling the 2nd decan of Taurus, that 1st to the 10th of May. Now, the moon is exalted in Taurus, which is a great sign. But, of course, the moon is transient in nature, and that means that you might have successes along the way. But it's not a continual success. I think that you'll have a success here, a success there, a success there, that type of thing. Now, the moon likes nurturing and comfort, and Taurus likes material things, so they are well suited for bringing about material success to you at this time. And this card here really represents, I think, success for you in your life, generosity, paying it forward. You may well be receiving a financial boost. There's a grant or a scholarship on the horizon for those who are involved in study, and for those who are accessing the welfare system, I think your applications are going to turn out well. There is, with the moon in Taurus, the external manifestation of the inner. Success and transformation is here. This is great for undertakings of each and every kind. From a deep subconscious level of your being, as the moon, springs an urge for external expression. So I think that it's likely that you'll have you're going to start feeling as if things are getting along better for you materially now. You may well have the opportunity to become involved in something profitable. But it's a reminder for you to remember the successes in your life and to build on those. There is a desire for success here. And, well, the advice of this energy is that you must be willing to risk, to be committed, trust your intuition. Be open to your success at this time. It is no less than a gift you can learn to accept thankfully and humbly. Real success only comes once you have learned to serve. Success under these conditions enriches all levels of your being. What does success mean for you at the moment? Visualize as precisely as possible what your success looks like. And say this to yourself: my self-acceptance and my self-confidence, they are the keys to real success. Well, let's have a look at this. Looks like another Buddha depiction underneath here. Yep, let's see what this has to say to you and see what there is in store. Well, the Buddha here has this halo around him, behind him. That's the Kirthamukha, the face of glory, one of the earliest manifestations of the divine in nature known to India. Now, this image, or this face here, that's found on practically every temple, whether Hindu or Buddhist or Jain, in India and in the Indian diaspora around the world. And if there's a motive of Indian temple art, it really is this, which is as it should be, for it belongs to a religion that precedes all of those that are currently existing in the world. Important to you at this time are, I think, going to be Virgo and Leo around you. Now, I think what this is going to come about is, and this success is going to be as a result of you, according to this, being patient, a hard worker, clever. This is also saying that you're probably going to be concentrating on material things on here. Maybe thinking about financial investments. But there's a great degree of the sense of being hard work and toil around you. This energy here really does also speak of health and material abundance, just as this was doing. In questions of health, this energy here is valuable because it brings about healing, I think. This is talking of you having an instinctive, good work ethic which brings results over the longer term. So don't over-intellectualize things at the moment, but use your ethic, your work ethic and experience to get things done. But be careful of becoming a workaholic, because the energy around here is very much about not having an interest in anything outside of work. But it may also be, incidentally, that you find that you have a deep connection with Mother Earth during this time. Look, now is the time to set your abilities to work in service of some kind. The tasks before you may seem large and demand the use of all your powers, but if you make the effort, the harvest will reward you richly. Are there any tasks you would like to avoid in your life? Whenever things seem to be too much trouble for you, concentrate on the positive results of your actions for you and for others. Your internal learning and growing process is the most important outcome, more important than that which you achieve by your actions. And say this in particular at this moment: with every task that comes my way comes also the energy needed to accomplish it. Yep, great time for you this month, I think. Now let's see what this lady has to offer. This is Swaha, as she's known, or Swaha. Now, Swaha is the wife of Agni, the Vedic god of fire. Now, no offering to the sacred flame is considered acceptable unless purified by uttering her name. Thus, an ancient chant has been ringing out for 6,000 years, thereabouts. Into the sacred fire we offer this for Agni, and not for ourselves. The fire sacrifice is central to Hindu ritual practices, and Swaha is central to its efficacy, to it becoming good. Look, she's regarded as the personification of the supreme Shakti. This lady that we were looking at here before, she's a personification of her. Interesting, isn't it, there? And so, really I've just lost my train of thought. She's the world goddess, becoming a tangible, engaging presence to the person making the sacrifice. Even one sacrifice without offering Swaha renders the entire sacrifice devoid of any virtue. So you could be sure that Swaha extracts a fearsome concentration of the mind. She's been described as the secret goddess of wealth and prosperity as well. And she brings great power and benefit and prosperity to you at this time. I have to say, though, that I am getting a lot of Aries around here and a lot of Pisces around her as well. Now, Pisces, I think, gives her sensitivity and inspiration, which you will have. And you will have, as a result of Aries, great leadership and self-confidence. We were only talking about self-confidence. Where was it? It was in here. That's your greatest success. It's your greatest gift, your self-confidence, belief in self. Now, this is saying also that I think you'll be quite adaptable. You'll have a persistent energy. You'll have a calm authority around you. And I have to say, you'll have the powers of attraction. People are going to find you very attractive during this period. And you'll be quite generous, but perhaps intolerant and impatient with people who have opposite points of view to you. It's a time also where I think that you'll be doing some sort of soul searching, not in a bad way, but in a way of developing some sort of self-knowledge. Because this woman here, I really have the feeling, has mastered self-knowledge. She has looked deep into her own nature, which has led to a transformation of her being. So you will, I think, be going through something of a process of self-discovery and remembering your power. Look, you got to where you are by resolving difficulties in the past, and now you are a stronger character, It's time to express your natural power and beauty and move on from the past. This is a woman here who knows what she wants. You will know what you want and have an active life, and you will be creating a very powerful first impression. Now you've worked on yourself and made progress. It's time to learn how to share this with others. Let your self-realization be expressed in your daily life. How can you share what you have found for yourself with other people? And just say this: I am a radiant light being filled with light and love. Right, well, so where does that take us to then? Have we looked. Now, this is who I think it is, then that makes perfect sense, as of course it should do. Now, let's have a look here. Now, the interesting thing is here, I'll give you the backstory. This is Garuda. Actually, the national airline of Indonesia, funnily enough, is called Garuda. Now, today, Indonesia is the world's largest Islamic country. But before Islam came in, it was Hindu. Now, Garuda and Hanuman are the strongest of the strong powers in the universe. Hanuman was a Hindu god and a divine monkey, and he was a companion of the god Rama. However, both those great beings have dedicated their lives to service instead of using their powers to rule over the cosmos. Now, Hanuman's reward is that he will preside over the next cycle of creation. Garuda's reward is immortality and a stature that is literally always above that of Vishnu. Vishnu, you might recall, is a member of the Hindu Trinity. Brahma, the creator god, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer or the renewer. Now, Garuda's strength, let's have a look at him here, is so huge that one single feather of his wings can hold up a planet, it is said. Now, behind the titanic roaring of his wings can be heard the eternal hymns of the Vedas. The Vedas are a section of the sacred texts of Hinduism. His unblinking eyes denote his conquest of sleep, and his infallible gaze penetrates all. His aura blazes like the fires of cosmic destruction. And repeating his name 3 times keeps snakes away at night. In fact, one of his powers is that he is able to, with impunity, to eat snakes. Now, there's a Gemini around you, I think, that's going to be important to you, probably also a Taurus, I think. Because I think what you will have here, and just taking on from those 2 signs, I think that you'll have the energy of the mind in Gemini, with the influence of the stability and determination of Taurus during this period. So this is saying to me, I think, that you are going to be active, clever, skillful, quite fierce at times, courageous, but you may be unreflective. You may be unreflective about things. You will, however, be goal-oriented and ambitious, but your intellectual powers will be quite flexible, I think, but there's going to be moments of passion which rise up in you. I think also what's going to happen is that you'll find that you get a clear insight into a problem and you'll be working quickly to set goals, so don't let anything get in the way. I think that nevertheless this is going to be a restless period for you where you are transitioning and trying to get somewhere else, either in your everyday life or possibly travel, I see here. Definitely I'd say this though, it's a time for you to listen to your head rather than your heart. Don't let compassion get in the way of decisions that need to be made when you've critically, mentally analysed them. And he indicates, I think, a restlessness here in all aspects of life. Maybe wanting to break free from the workplace. But I think that you are in a good position now to forge plans, to set goals, and to bring them to fruition. Do you know your goal and what happens once you achieve it? Imagine how you will best be able to enjoy your success. Say this to yourself at this time. I know my goal, and I know what I am working towards. Each goal is just a milestone on the way to my ultimate destination. Well, great set of cards for you. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, thanks for joining me. It's been really great to see you, and I loved sitting down with you and doing that reading for you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. And isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting, all that stuff? Well, remember one thing, of course, and that is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.